Torrey. Kind of unusual that you'd have 3 Big East officials here when you're playing in a Western Athletic Conference city.
Well, Don Haskins told me that to get this game, they had to take the Big East officials, and they wanted this game badly enough. We'll have to see whether WAC officials go to Washington, D.C. next year. I doubt it.
I don't think so. I think in the contract that they wanted Big East officials at both games.
Okay, here we go, and the Hoyas will run. Knocked out of bounds. I say it's UTEP ball. The crowd will boo. David Wingate with a good move.
Right off the bat, you can see how quick Georgetown is. They got the basketball right down the floor in a hurry, and they're not afraid to put the ball up either.
Williams inbounds to Dalton. Back to Williams. Over to Michael Jackson. That's Broadnax. Off his foot. UTEP ball. The crowd loves it.
You'll see the Miners in the zone most of the night. Unfortunately, Georgetown is one of the better perimeter shooting teams in the country. Could be the best.
Chief Jackson has the basketball. That's Juden Smith into the cheese. Dave Feidel. Wingate. And the crowd will sit down. David Wingate.
That's Georgetown basketball at its finest right there. A block at one end and Wingate all the way in for the layup.
2-0 Georgetown lead.
Bob, it'll be very important that UTEP can find an offense they can get into and be comfortable and not be pressured out of.
Feidel and Dalton, that's the big matchup inside. Chief Jackson. Feidel misses. Foul call. They call it on UTEP. Oh, no, they don't.
Foul, I believe, is on 34, Reggie Williams.
You're right.
See the ball come off. Dave Feidel will grab it along the baseline, and he gives a little double clutch there, and Wingate came over his back. Or, excuse me, Reggie Williams.
The crowd cheering on everything UTEP does tonight. Dave Feidel, first point, leads UTEP in scoring 17-2 a game. He can from both. We're tied at 2. We played 1 minute. And that's what Georgetown does. You don't stop the fast break. You don't beat Georgetown. They lead 4-2.
You can't run down the floor as UTEP did that time with your heads down, or Georgetown will whip you right down the floor.
Feidel over Dalton. In and out. Quentin Gates. Yes.
One of the concerns Coach Haskins had was, could the Miners rebound against Georgetown?
A block. Will be Georgetown ball right in front of the UTEP basket, or UTEP bench rather. 18:24 left. We're tied at 4. So far, the crowd's loving it, cricket.
It's electric in here, Bob, that's for sure. Georgetown doesn't do anything special. They just pass the ball around until they get the shot they want and take it. Miners are in their 2-3 zone.
Jackson. Michael Jackson.
There you see the full court pressure by Georgetown too. Anytime the ball comes over towards one of their players, they'll jump up and double team, try to get the trap on you.
In the last game, UTEP played Alcorn State, and they pressed UTEP, and I know that the coaching staff is happy to see that. Juden Smith.
That was a great pass by Dave Feidel to get the ball to Juden, and then he did the little reverse layup.
Tied at 6, 17:35 left. Walking, UTEP ball.
Dave got pretty good position along the baseline, and Reggie Williams just drug a pivot foot as he tried to go down the baseline. Miner ball. We've got a lot of respect for that man they just showed right there, John Thompson. He's a great basketball coach and a credit to what athletics stand for.
Well, I know Juden Smith was really looking forward to this game. He even gave us an interview after the last game. He was so pumped up. Dalton with a rebound. Jackson. Broadnax.
The fast break for Georgetown has run so effectively. You saw how quickly they got the ball into the middle to Michael Jackson, and from then it was just a sure two.
offensive foul.
You're going to see the foul on Reggie Williams. Wingate passed to Reggie. Great position by, looked like Quentin Gates.
Second foul on Williams. Grady Mateen comes into the game. John Thompson plays up to 12 players. They all get a lot of playing time. Of course, they've been ahead by so much in many games that everybody's had a shot at it.
Well, and it doesn't seem to hurt them when they substitute either. They get just as good a point production out of.
Possible three-point play. Soup Campbell with a layup.
There's that guy. Here's this guy we talk about who has a nose for the basketball. Soup was in the right place at the right time. No way in the world that he wasn't going to make that one, no matter how hard Horace Broadneck's fouled him. That is Horace's first personal foul, third team foul on the Hoyas.
Well, the Miners could take their first lead of the evening. 16:48 left. We're tied at 8. UTEP lead.
Those long arms of Quentin Gates, Bob, got that one for him. This crowd will get in and help the Miners. They've got a chance here tonight.
Even with the crowd, I'll tell you what, Cricket, Georgetown, they're unbeaten. They've played 5 games on the road. They know what it's like to play on the road. They call a foul on Gates.
He got caught pushing off along the baseline down there.
Now, these Big East officials will let you play basketball, similar to the Big Ten.
They're used to it. There's a lot of slapping and a lot of pressing defenses in all of the teams that play in the Big East Conference, and it's become really the hotbed of college basketball.
Mike Richmond with a little beef comes in for UTEP at 6'9". Dave Feidel gets a rest. Miners up by 2. 16 minutes left first half. Alley-oop. Gates, 2 quick fouls.
That was a good call there. Quentin got him pretty good. He did get the basketball on the hack, as you're going to see right here. See him go up. And he gets him with body and arm, too.
Perry McDonald, 3 of 9 to the line, now 3 of 10.
He comes from New Orleans, Louisiana, so I'm sure he knows a few of these guys on our team.
Right. McDonald makes 1 of 2, cuts the UTEP lead to 1. No trouble there with the press. And it takes so much out of you physically when you've got to play the entire court. Juden Smith, that quick first step reverse. He misses it. And they call a foul inside on UTEP.
Foul is on Mike Richmond, I believe. He came over someone's back. That's his first and the third team foul on the Miners. Watch Juden penetrate down the baseline. Dang near made a great shot, and you see Richmond come over the back.
Mike hung on the rim too, Cricket. They didn't call that.
No, very fortunate.
So McDonald and Jackson will run at guard.
Miners showing good movement in their zone. They're covering their area as well.